Hi, my name is Nathan Jeffers and I'm with the GracePoint Media Arts team. In this tutorial, I'd like to show you how to export from Photoshop for print, PowerPoint, and the web. In the previous tutorial, Design Specifications, I showed you how to lay out a Photoshop document for a 4x6 print with an 1/8 of an inch bleed all the way around. Now in this tutorial, I'm going to show you how to take that document once you're done designing it and then export it for print, and then shrink it down for PowerPoint, and then finally for the web. And this is a 4x6 flyer with an 1/8 of an inch bleed on every single side. And we have the guides showing up here to show you that. Now, I'm not going to necessarily show you exactly how to design this flyer in this particular tutorial. That may come in a later tutorial. I'm just going to show you how to, once you've designed your flyer all the way, I'm going to show you how to export that properly. Now the first thing you need to do is flatten the image. So you're going to want to go, there's multiple ways to do this, but I choose to do it this way. You go up to Layer, and then you just click on Flatten Image. You click OK. If something shows up that says Discard Hidden Layers, that just means if a layer is hidden, then you're going to get rid of that. That's not going to show up in your final document. Now with that flattened image, it just creates one background image out of everything that you have, all the layers that you previously had. So you just have one image here in this one background image. And then we're going to save this for print. Just go to File, Save As, and I'm just in my I'm Not Mother Teresa tutorial folder. You're going to want to choose the save folder that you want to export it to. Usually I like to keep these in the same folder that I have the original PSD file. You're going to go to Format and select TIFF. You can leave the embedded color profile there. And the reason we save as a TIFF is that it doesn't do any compression to the image, which means it doesn't throw away any pixels. It's just what you see is what you get. You're exporting all the information that you designed with. And you want to make sure there's no image compression here. Otherwise, it's just going to make your image look all jaggedy and just not so good. You can leave the rest of it the same and just click OK. And there you go. That's created your TIFF. And you can go into the Finder and you can see you have that I'm Not Mother Teresa flyer. And that is what you would upload to PS Print as the front of the flyer. Now you do the exact same thing with the back of the flyer image. We have an example of that here. I'm Not Mother Teresa flyer. This is the back of the flyer. And we did the same thing with that one. We just opened it up and then flattened it and exported it as a TIFF. Now we're going to want to open up our original PSD file, the I'm Not Mother Teresa-flyer.psd. Double click on that and open it right up. And we can actually close this TIFF file. We don't need that anymore. Now we're going to be exporting for PowerPoint. This might be a little bit trickier because we're going to be shrinking the image down, but it's relatively simple. Go up to Image, go to Image Size, and then we're actually going to change some of this information around. Since we are exporting for the PowerPoint, which is on a computer monitor, we want to change the resolution to 72. And we are going to uncheck this resample box because that is going to get rid of information. That's going to get rid of pixels. If we change this without unchecking resample, then that would throw away pixels in our image, and that's not what we want to do. So we change that to uncheck resample, change the resolution from 300 to 72, and then we just click OK. We're not going to worry about the rest of that for now. Press OK. It doesn't look like the image has changed at all, and it really hasn't. We've just changed the dimensions, the number of pixels per inch. Now we're going to go up to Image, Canvas Size. That's not image size, that's canvas size. And the difference is the image size changes for the whole image, and this canvas size just changes the size of the canvas. So it doesn't throw away any pixels, it just changes the size of your working document. Now we want to change this to 1024 pixels by 768 pixels, and that will create the right aspect ratio for and the right number of pixels for PowerPoint. That is the number of pixels that our projector displays at. I'm going to hit OK. It's going to clip and just click proceed. And there, it's a lot smaller, but that is what we want. Now we're going to select all the layers. Just click on the top layer, go to the bottom layer, not the background, but the very bottom layer. Hold down Shift and click on the bottom. Now we want to transform all of these, so we go up to Edit, Free Transform. There's also a shortcut for that, which is Command T or Control T if you're on a PC. And now when we're in this mode, we're going to click on the lock up here on the chain on the toolbar. And now I realize I may be going a little bit fast for some people, but just in terms of time, I just want to get this done quickly so it's not too long. And I will have other tutorials up showing the basics of Photoshop later. Now when you hover over the W, your cursor changes to a little hand with the arrows there. Once it changes to that, you click and drag to the left, and that will shrink down your image and keep the aspect ratio the same because you've checked that chain link. Now you're going to hit return or enter. Excuse me. And that commits your changes. Now you have that little bit of white space down at the bottom. I'm going to zoom in here. I just switched over to the zoom tool, which is using the keyboard shortcut Z. I'm going to right click and say fit on screen just so that's bigger. Now you see that little bit, actually I'm going to zoom out just one more. You see that little bit of white space down there? You don't want that. So with all your layers selected, you switch over to that move tool, and you're going to actually just press the down arrow on your keyboard a few times until that white space disappears. Now if you designed something that is really formatted for that 4x6 space or a 5x7 space, you may have to move around some of the elements. For instance, excuse me, this I'm not Mother Teresa text may be cut off. So you want to go ahead and select that in the layer palette and then move it around until it fits where you want it to be. And then same thing with the GracePoint logo. You want to move that around. You can move that there. And there's also in the toolbar here, you can have the auto select layer on, so when you click on the text for I'm not Mother Teresa, it actually selects that layer. You can see it turn blue over here in the layers palette. And if you click on the GracePoint logo, it turns blue over here. That means it's selected. And that's really important if you want to move everything very quickly. Now that you have everything situated where you want it to be, you're going to save the file as a JPEG for PowerPoint. This is the title slide for the PowerPoint. You're going to go to File, Save for Web and Devices, and this brings up a screen that looks like this. You have a preview, and then on the right here you have information to compress the file. You're going to want to select JPEG and change the quality to 100%. Leave it progressive, uncheck. Make sure embed color profile is unchecked just in case you're working in a different kind of color profile. And then you're going to want to check convert to sRGB because this is the color profile that the projector uses. Now just to zoom out here, you check the image size. That says 1024 by 768, and that is good. And then you're just going to click Save on the bottom right. You're going to want to name this. I've already done this before, so I'm going to save over these, but it's I'm not Mother Teresa -PowerPoint 1. You can name them however you want, but this is just how I do it. And just click Save, and I'm going to replace this file